You're not going to like what I'm about to tell you, because the truth I'm about to share is a mirror, and in it, you will see a reflection of yourself you've spent your entire life pretending isn't there. The reflection of a victim, a willing one, because you've built your identity on being fair, on being reasonable, on playing by the rules. You pride yourself on your empathy, your integrity, and yet you are consistently outmaneuvered, disrespected, and ignored. You watch others, people you know are less intelligent, less skilled, less worthy, climb over you with a smug smile. And the worst part? The part that keeps you awake at 3 a.m., staring at the ceiling with a quiet, impotent rage? You don't know why. Someone weaker than you is already using this against you, right now. That coworker who stole your idea and got the promotion. That friend who drains your energy and gives nothing back. That partner who knows exactly which buttons to push to make you feel small, to make you apologize for things you didn't even do. They are not smarter than you. They are not better than you. They are simply playing a different game, a game whose rules you were never taught. A game I am about to teach you. What if I told you that all human interaction, from the boardroom to the bedroom, is governed by a hidden set of psychological laws, a dark physics of power that only the top 1% of predators and architects of society truly understand? What if I told you that your goodness and fairness are, in fact, liabilities in this game? They are weaknesses they have been exploiting since the day you were born. I am going to reveal these laws to you. Not the sanitized, feel-good pop psychology you read in blogs. I am talking about the raw, uncut, and often cruel mechanics of mental domination. When we are done, you will stop being manipulated. You will see the strings before they are ever pulled. Your entire worldview will shift, as if a filter has been removed from your eyes, and you will finally see people for what they are: collections of insecurities, desires, and predictable patterns, all waiting to be leveraged. This knowledge will change you. It will make you more deliberate, more formidable, and yes, more dangerous. You will stop being a piece on the board and become the hand that moves them. Does this feel familiar? You are in a meeting. You have a brilliant idea, but you wait for the perfect moment. You phrase it cautiously. Silence. A few minutes later, someone else, louder, more confident, says the exact same thing, and the room erupts in praise. You sit there, invisible, a ghost at your own table. You are the reliable friend, the one everyone calls for advice, to vent their problems, to borrow money. You are the rock. But when you need someone, your phone remains silent. You are not invited to the inner circle's spontaneous night out. You are a utility, not a destination. In your relationship, you give everything. You compromise, you sacrifice, you bend until you are about to break, believing your love will be reciprocated. Instead, your partner takes it all for granted. Your flexibility is seen not as kindness, but as a lack of a spine. They know you will never leave. They have no reason to respect you. You try to negotiate a raise. You come prepared with facts, figures, a list of your accomplishments. Your boss smiles, pats you on the back, praises your hard work, and gives you a firm no. You walk away feeling defeated, having accepted an excuse you know is a lie because you were afraid to push back. You get into an argument. You use logic, reason, and facts. The other person uses emotion, accusations, and tears. Suddenly, the argument is no longer about the facts. It's about their feelings, their pain, and how you are the cruel one for upsetting them. You end up apologizing just to end the conflict. You were played. You feel a constant gnawing sense of being underestimated. People talk over you. They make decisions that affect you without consulting you. They treat your time and your boundaries as optional. You feel powerless, a passenger in your own life. Each of these moments is a symptom of a deeper disease, a disease you have been unknowingly cultivating. Every time you failed to set a boundary, you taught them your territory was open for invasion. Every time you swallowed your anger to be nice, you taught them your emotions didn't matter. Every time you gave without demanding something in return, you taught them you were an infinite resource to be plundered. The world is not run by good people. It is controlled by those who understand and ruthlessly apply the principles of dark psychology. They create the systems, write the social scripts, and define the morality that keeps you predictable, manageable, and weak. None of this is your fault, but all of it is your responsibility to fix. Centuries ago, a man named Niccolo Machiavelli wrote a book that was so brutally honest about the nature of power that it has been feared and condemned ever since. He was not evil, he was a realist. He saw the world as it is, not as we wish it to be. He famously wrote, "It is better to be feared than loved if you cannot be both." You have spent your entire life chasing love, chasing approval. You wanted them to like you, to think you were a good person. And what did you get in return? Neither their love nor their respect. Fear, in the Machiavellian sense, is not about terrorizing people. It is about commanding a deep, unshakable respect for your power, your will, and your boundaries. It is the understanding that crossing you has consequences. Love is an emotion, fleeting and unreliable. Fear is a calculation, and it is permanent. Machiavelli also said, "The lion cannot protect himself from traps, and the fox cannot defend himself from wolves." One must therefore be a fox to recognize traps and a lion to frighten wolves. The same principles that built empires and toppled kings in Renaissance Italy are playing out in your office, in your relationships, and in the silent war inside your own mind. You are a prince who has forgotten his own power, living like a peasant. It is time to reclaim your throne. Now, let us begin. These are the 7 laws you were never meant to know. Rule 1. The law of the void. Nature abhors a vacuum of power. Here is the first and most fundamental truth. Where you fail to project power, someone else will. It is not a choice, it is a law of social physics. Human dynamics, like nature itself, cannot tolerate a void. A space of uncertainty, indecision, or weakness will always be filled by the nearest, most assertive force. It isn't personal, it isn't malicious, it is as inevitable as gravity. You thought being humble was a virtue. You thought being accommodating and letting others take the lead made you agreeable. No. In the jungle of human interaction, it is a broadcast signal of weakness. It is an open invitation to be dominated. Think of the new manager who tries to be everyone's friend. He doesn't make firm decisions. He says, "What do you guys think?" He avoids conflict. He projects no authority. What happens? Within weeks, the team is in chaos. An informal leader emerges, someone on the team who is more decisive, more ruthless. They start directing the workflow. They become the one people go to for answers. The official manager is now just a figurehead, a ghost in his own office, wondering why no one listens to him. His inner monologue, "I'm trying to be a good boss, a modern leader. I want them to feel empowered." The team's inner monologue, "He's weak. He can't lead. We need direction, and he's not providing it. I'll follow Sarah. At least she makes a decision. He's useless." He created a power vacuum, and Sarah, consciously or not, filled it. Every time you are indecisive, you create a vacuum. When you say, "I don't know, what do you want to do?" you are not being easygoing. You are surrendering control of the frame. The person who answers, "We're going here," now owns the interaction. They lead, you follow. Every time you fail to state your opinion with conviction, you create a vacuum. You say, "Well, I kind of think maybe we should consider," and you trail off. The person who slams their fist on the table and says, "No, the correct way is this," wins. Not because their idea was better, but because their projection of certainty filled the void your hesitation created. Power is not a crown you are given. It is a space you must actively occupy every second of every day. If you do not fill that space with your own will, your own frame, your own agenda, someone else's will fill it for you. You must become the source of certainty in a world of doubt. People do not follow the best ideas, they follow the strongest convictions. Stop waiting for permission to lead. Project your will into the world, or have the world's will projected onto you. There is no third option. Drop this affirmation in the comments. I am the authority in my own life. Rule 2. The law of calculated absence. Scarcity creates value. Here's what no one told you. Your constant presence is devaluing you. You are always available. You answer texts immediately. You say yes to every invitation. You are always there to listen, to help, to exist as a reliable fixture in other people's lives. You believe this makes you important. In reality, it makes you cheap. Psychologically, the human brain assigns value based on scarcity. A diamond is just compressed carbon, but its rarity makes it priceless. Gold is just a shiny metal, but its limited supply has made it the foundation of economies for millennia. This same principle governs your social value. When you are always there, you become predictable. And predictable people are replaceable. Your constant availability communicates that your time is not valuable, that you have nothing more important to do. It removes all tension, all mystery, all desire. Why would anyone crave your attention when it is an endlessly flowing tap? They take a drink whenever they're thirsty and walk away, knowing the tap will still be running when they return. The inner monologue of the person who takes you for granted. Oh, I need to talk to someone. I'll call him, her. They're always free. They always pick up. There is no anticipation, no challenge, no respect. Now, imagine you disappear for a while. You stop answering instantly. You become busy. You decline an invitation without a long apologetic explanation. You say, "I can't talk right now. I'll get back to you." You post less. You observe more. You withdraw your energy from the world and invest it back into yourself, your goals, your projects, your mind. You have just introduced scarcity. You have become a limited resource. What happens? A subtle panic begins to set in for those who took you for granted. Their pattern is disrupted. The tap is no longer running. Their inner monologue shifts. Where have they been? They haven't texted back. Are they okay? Are they mad at me? I wonder what they're doing. It must be something important. Suddenly, they are thinking about you. They are investing mental energy into you. The space you once occupied with your constant presence is now a question mark, a void that they feel an urgent need to understand. When you do finally grant them your time, it will feel like a gift, not an expectation. Its value will have skyrocketed. This is not a game of playing hard to get. This is the strategy of a high-value individual. Your time and attention are your most precious assets. Treat them as such. At a 1.2x pace, do not give them away freely. Make people earn them. Absence makes the heart grow fonder, but it also makes the mind grant respect. Be seen, be heard, and then disappear. Let them wonder. Drop this affirmation in the comments. My presence is a privilege. You now understand the poison of presence. You see how your constant availability, your eagerness to please, has made you cheap, common, an endlessly flowing tap no one thinks to thank until it runs dry. By learning to withdraw, you create a vacuum. You force them to notice the silence where your validation used to be. They will start to wonder. They will start to miss you. This is the first step out of the cage. But it is only the first. There is a deeper, more insidious belief system shackling you. It's a lie you were fed from childhood, a platitude so ingrained in your psyche you mistake it for a fundamental law of the universe. The truth will set you free. What a beautiful, elegant, and utterly useless piece of fiction. You believe in facts, in evidence, in the objective reality of a situation. You enter an argument armed with data, a timeline of events, a clear and logical sequence of who did what and why. You think you are entering a debate, a negotiation. You are not. You are walking into an ambush, and your weapon is a dictionary while your opponent holds a lit torch. Think about it. That meeting where your colleague didn't steal your idea, they simply built upon your excellent foundation. The argument with your partner, where your valid complaint about their behavior was twisted until you were the one apologizing for being too sensitive. The discussion with your family, where your ambition was reframed as forgetting where you came from. In every instance, you had the truth on your side, and in every instance, you lost. You left feeling confused, frustrated, and psychologically plundered. You were gaslit, not because you were wrong, but because you were fighting on the wrong battlefield. You were trying to win the point, while they were busy winning the war for perception. The truth is not a monolithic power. It is a raw material, like clay. It has no shape until it is molded. The person who molds it, who creates the frame around it, is the one who defines its meaning. You have been letting your enemies, your rivals, and your manipulators build the frame for your entire life. You hand them the clay and then wonder why the resulting sculpture is always a monument to your own weakness. This ends now. Law 3, the law of the frame. He who controls the frame controls the outcome. Power is not about winning an argument. Power is about making the argument irrelevant. The frame is the psychological lens through which a situation is viewed. It sets the emotional tone, defines the stakes, and establishes the roles of hero, victim, and villain before a single fact is presented. The amateur argues the facts. The master controls the frame. When they accuse you of being aggressive, you don't list the reasons you weren't aggressive. You reframe. What I see isn't aggression, but passion. I'm sorry if that's an intensity you're not comfortable with. You have just reframed their accusation as a confession of their own inadequacy. The spotlight is no longer on you, it is on them. When a boss dismisses your request for a raise by framing it as being all about money, you don't justify your financial needs, you reframe. This isn't about money, it's about value. I want to ensure my compensation reflects the value I bring to this company. Are you suggesting it doesn't? You have shifted the frame from your greed to your worth, forcing them to either validate you or admit they are deliberately undervaluing you. This is not deception. It is a higher form of truth. It is the physics of perception. You are seizing control of the narrative. You are becoming the director of the movie, not just an actor reading someone else's lines. Predators do this instinctively. They frame their manipulation as care, their control as security, their selfishness as self-preservation. They build a world of their own making and invite you inside. And once you accept their frame, you have accepted their rules. Stop accepting their rules. Stop playing their game. From this moment on, you will be the one who sets the stage. Before you enter any negotiation, any conflict, any crucial conversation, you will not ask yourself, what are the facts? You will ask, what is the frame? How do I want them to feel? What is the single dominant idea I want them to walk away with? Is this about a mistake, or is it about a learning opportunity? Is this about a conflict, or is it about a necessary alignment of vision? Is this about you being difficult, or is it about you upholding a standard? You must define the terms. You must anchor the conversation to your reality. Let them get lost in the weeds of detail and he said, she said. You will remain focused on one thing and one thing only, owning the frame. Let them bring their facts. You will bring the reality. Stop arguing. Start defining. Controlling the external narrative is a formidable weapon. But there is another, more intimate violation you suffer daily. It happens not in the boardroom or at the dinner table, but in the quiet, unseen space between your mind and theirs. It is the invasion of emotion. Your empathy, the quality you have been told is a virtue, is a gaping wound. You see someone in distress and you feel it with them. A friend is spiraling in anxiety and you dive into the vortex to try and save them, only to find yourself drowning. A colleague is radiating passive aggression and you absorb it like a sponge, carrying their bitterness in your own gut for the rest of the day. A partner is angry, and you meet their fire with a desperate flood of placating, reasonable water, trying to extinguish their flame. You are an emotional dumping ground. They come to you overflowing with their psychological poison, their fear, their rage, their insecurity, their chaos, and you willingly open your arms and let them pour it all into you. You think you are helping. You think you are being a good friend, a supportive partner, a compassionate human being. You are not. You are a resource being consumed. You are a trash receptacle for the emotions they are too weak to process themselves. And the worst part? They don't respect you for it. They don't thank you for it. They simply feel the relief of being empty and walk away, leaving you heavy and contaminated. They feel light while you feel burdened. They feel clean while you feel filthy. This is a transaction, and you are getting plundered. This is the dark secret of the empath. You are not a healer. You are a host for parasites. Your very nature invites them in. It is a broadcast signal of weakness that the predators of this world can read from a mile away. So, what if you could turn their emotional energy back on them? What if, instead of absorbing their rage, you could use it to disarm them? What if, instead of being drained by their neediness, you could use it to make them dependent on your approval? This requires you to stop being a sponge and become something else entirely, something cold, polished, and perfect. Law 4, the law of the mirror. Show people only what they show you. A mirror has no feelings. A mirror does not judge. A mirror does not absorb. It simply and perfectly reflects whatever is put in front of it. This is now your strategy. The law of the mirror is a devastatingly effective tool of psychological warfare, and it has two primary functions. First, it is a shield of deflection. When someone attacks you with irrational anger, you do not meet them with anger. You do not meet them with reason. Both responses feed their fire. Instead, you become a calm, unbreachable surface. You reflect their emotion back to them with simple diagnostic questions. You seem incredibly angry right now. The level of your frustration is palpable. What is causing such a strong reaction? I hear the rage in your voice. You are not absorbing their rage. You are holding up a mirror to it. You are forcing them to look at their own contorted face. This is profoundly unsettling for most people. Their aggression is meant to provoke a reaction in you. When it doesn't, it is trapped inside them, echoing back, forcing them to confront their own loss of control. They will either exhaust themselves and burn out, or they will become self-conscious and retreat. You have won without throwing a single punch. You let them defeat themselves. Second, the mirror is a tool of mimicry. To gain power and influence, you must become a reflection of what others value. This is not about being a sycophant. It is about calculated psychological alignment. When dealing with a superior or a target of influence, you will subtly mirror their world. Not their words, but their way of thinking. Do they value bluntness? Be direct. Do they value data? Speak in numbers. Do they speak in metaphors of war or sports or family? Adopt their lexicon. Mirror their posture, their cadence of speech, their core values. By doing this, you create a powerful subconscious bond. You are showing them a reflection of themselves, and people are fundamentally in love with themselves. They will see in you a kindred spirit, a brilliant mind, someone who just gets it. They will feel a deep, unexplainable sense of trust and rapport with you. They will not see you as a threat, but as an extension of their own ego. This is the path to influence. You make yourself indispensable by becoming the most flattering mirror they have ever looked into. Stop being a sponge for others' emotional filth. Stop trying to absorb and neutralize their chaos. It is a fool's errand, and it is killing you. Become a mirror. Be polished, impenetrable, and reflective. Use deflection to disarm your enemies. Use mimicry to seduce your allies. Let them see only what you want them to see, themselves. Let them wonder what, if anything, lies behind the glass. These two laws give you control over the external and internal battlefields. You now know how to shape perception with the frame and how to manipulate emotional energy with the mirror. You are learning to see the strings. Soon, you will be the one to pull them. If you are ready to become a mirror, not a sponge, comment with this affirmation: I reflect, I do not absorb. You feel a sickness in your stomach. It is the nausea of recognition. The 4 laws I have given you, the void, the absence, the frame, the mirror, are not abstract theories. You see them now, everywhere. You see them in the meeting you just left, in the text message you just read, in the memory of a negotiation that still burns with the acid of defeat. You see the strings. And you see how you have spent your entire life dancing for someone else's amusement. This knowledge is a violation. It plunders the comfortable lies you were told about fairness, about reciprocity, about the inherent goodness of people. You were taught to be a giver, to be helpful, to offer your time, your energy, your empathy without expectation. You were told this was virtue. It was not virtue. It was training. You were trained to be a resource, an endlessly flowing tap of value for anyone clever enough to turn the spigot. Your boss gives you an opportunity, and you feel indebted, so you work the weekend without complaint. Your friend gives you their ear for an hour, and you feel a crushing obligation to be their 24/7 crisis hotline. Your partner gives you a lavish gift, and you subconsciously surrender ground in your next argument, because how could you be so ungrateful? Every gift was a hook. Every favor was a leash. You thought you were building goodwill. Instead, you were building your own cage, bar by golden bar. Does this feel familiar? The exhaustion of being the go-to person? The resentment that simmers beneath the surface when your boundless generosity is met with casual disregard. You give, and when you finally have nothing left or dare to ask for something in return, you are met with confusion, with annoyance, as if you are the one breaking the rules. You are. The rule was that you were the well, and they were the ones who came to drink. Wells are not supposed to make demands. This is the dark physics of human exchange. It is not about kindness, it is about leverage. The person who gives more than they receive does not earn love or respect. They earn the contempt of being taken for granted. They become predictable. They become less. It is time to shatter this pattern. It is time you learned the fifth law, the law of the imposed debt. This law states that he who controls the flow of value controls the relationship. The master of domination does not give freely. They invest strategically. They do not do favors. They create obligations. Their generosity is a weapon, a carefully calibrated tool to induce a psychological debt in their target, a debt the target feels an overwhelming subconscious need to repay. The amateur, the victim, you, believes in the free gift. You operate on a naive system of karmic balance, hoping that your good deeds will be returned in kind someday, somehow. The predator knows this is a fantasy. They operate a psychological ledger. For every act of kindness they perform, they make a silent entry on their side of the book and a corresponding entry of debt on yours. Think of the colleague who goes out of their way to help you with a project, offering insights and assistance you didn't even ask for. You feel a surge of gratitude. You think, what a great teammate. A week later, when they present your collaborative idea as their own in a meeting with senior leadership, you are paralyzed. To object would be to seem petty, ungrateful. After all, they helped you so much. They bought your silence with their help. The debt was called in. Think of the selfless friend who is always there for you, dropping everything to listen to your problems. They become your emotional bedrock. But slowly, you begin to notice the price. Their own dramas must take precedence. Your time must be available at a moment's notice. Any attempt to set a boundary is met with a wounded look and the unspoken accusation, "After all I've done for you." Their support wasn't a gift, it was a down payment on your servitude. This is not an accident. It is a calculated invasion of your autonomy. People are fundamentally wired to despise the feeling of being indebted. It is a psychological itch that must be scratched. The master of this law doesn't wait for you to offer repayment. They create a debt so subtle you don't even recognize it, and then they collect at the moment of their choosing, taking far more than they ever gave. You must stop being an endlessly flowing tap. You must become a source, and a source is something that is controlled. From now on, your generosity is a thing of the past. It is replaced by strategic transaction. Never offer help before it is explicitly asked for. Let them struggle. Let them understand the value of your intervention before you grant it. When you do offer assistance, do so with a clear, albeit unspoken, expectation of reciprocity. Frame it not as a gift, but as a professional courtesy or a favor between equals. This language subtly establishes a ledger. Learn to give gifts that serve your purpose. Give a book to a superior on a topic you wish to be associated with. Give a public compliment to a rival that frames them in a way that benefits you. These are not acts of kindness. They are calculated moves on the board, disguised as generosity. Stop accepting gifts and favors uncritically. Recognize them for what they often are, hooks. When someone offers you an unsolicited favor, politely decline if you can. If you cannot, immediately find a way to repay it, to clear the ledger on your own terms. Say, "Thank you for the help on that report. Let me buy you lunch to show my appreciation." You have just neutralized their weapon. You have closed the account. You must unlearn the programming that tells you to be endlessly agreeable and giving. Your time, your energy, and your expertise are your most valuable currencies. Stop giving them away for free. Make them earn it. Let them thirst. Then, and only then, will they value your water. Drop this affirmation in the comments if you are ready to close your account. My value is not a gift, it is a currency. There is another, more insidious trap you fall into. It happens when you are challenged, when your motives are questioned, your competence doubted, or your character attacked. What is your first instinct? To defend, to explain, to justify. You rush to fill the silence with words, a torrent of reasons and excuses and clarifications. You lay out your logic, you present your evidence, you plead your case before a judge who is also your accuser. In that moment, you have already lost. The moment you begin to justify yourself, you cede all power. Your defensiveness is a broadcast signal of weakness. It tells your attacker that their accusation has hit its mark, that you are insecure in your own position, that their opinion has the power to validate or invalidate you. You are playing their game on their turf by their rules. You are a defendant in a courtroom they control. A false accusation is thrown at you in a team meeting. You drop the ball on the Q3 report. You immediately jump in. No, that's not true. I was waiting on the data from Susan's department, and I sent 3 follow-up emails, and my part was actually done ahead of schedule. You can check the timestamps. Stop. Can you see it? You sound frantic, desperate, guilty. Even if every word you say is true, you have accepted their frame. The frame that you are the one who must be investigated. The more you talk, the more you struggle, the tighter the net becomes. You have given them the power to judge you. This impulse to explain is a vulnerability they will exploit again and again. It is a button they know they can press to throw you off balance, to drain your energy, to make you look weak before an audience. You must rip that button out of your own console. You must learn the 6th and perhaps most unnerving law of mental domination, the law of accusatory silence. This law dictates that in the face of accusation, the most powerful response is often no response at all. Silence in the face of attack is not weakness. It is a formidable display of psychological armor. It is a black hole that swallows their aggression and reflects nothing back. When you are accused and you meet that accusation with a calm, unwavering silence, a profound and deeply uncomfortable shift occurs. Your refusal to engage denies them the satisfaction of a reaction. It denies them the platform to be your judge. Your silence communicates something far more powerful than any denial ever could. Your opinion of me is irrelevant. Your attack is beneath my notice. You have no power here. The accuser expects a fight. They expect denial. They have prepared their counterarguments. When you give them nothing, their script is useless. They are left standing alone on a stage, their accusation echoing in a void of your creation. This unnerves them to their core. The natural human abhorrence of a vacuum will compel them to fill the silence themselves. Watch what happens. They will start to talk more, to justify their own accusation. Well, I just thought because the numbers were late. They will soften their position. I mean, it's not a huge deal, but we need to be on top of it. They will start to look around for validation from others, appearing less like a confident challenger and more like a flustered child. They have overplayed their hand, and your silence exposed them. Mastering this requires immense self-control. Your every instinct will scream at you to speak, to clear your name. You must crush this instinct. It is the voice of the prey. Instead, practice the mechanics of accusatory silence. When the accusation is made, lock eyes with your accuser. Do not look away. Do not flinch. Let your expression be one of calm, detached curiosity, as if you are watching a strange insect perform a bizarre ritual. Hold the silence for 3, 4, 5 seconds longer than is comfortable. This pause is a weapon. In this chasm of quiet, they will begin to doubt themselves. The entire room will feel the shift in power, away from the loud accuser and toward the unshakable accused. After you have allowed the tension to become unbearable, you have several options. You can raise a single eyebrow, you can tilt your head slightly, or you can deliver a simple, devastatingly calm question that does not defend but redirects. Are you finished? That's an interesting perspective. Why would you think that? I see. Notice that none of these engage with the substance of the accusation. They are meta-commentaries on the attack itself. They re-establish your position as the observer, the one in control, and force your attacker to stumble through a justification of their own behavior. You were not put on this earth to be a defendant in the court of other people's opinions. Stop handing them the gavel. Let their accusations die in the air. Let them be choked by the vacuum you create. Your silence is not empty. It is a statement. It is a fortress. Let them wonder what you are thinking. It is far more powerful than letting them know. Type this into the comments to forge your new armor. My silence is not an absence. It is a presence.